Students, in last video we have considered about the electrolytes, strong electrolytes, weak electrolytes. Electrolytes are acids, bases and salts. Now in this topic we have to consider first about what are acids and bases. In old days, acids and bases were distinguished by using their physical and chemical properties. Physical properties, taste of that, color of that acid, or litmus paper test. Acids are sour in taste. Some acids, for example, lemon contains citric acid, vinegar contains acetic acid. They are sour in taste. And bases are bitter in taste. Bases are bitter in taste. Now, if you consider litmus paper test, in acid, blue litmus turns to red. In bases, red litmus turns to blue. If acid reacts with active metals, it evolves hydrogen gas. Bases are soapy in touch. Now, if the substances are classified on the basis of these physical and chemical properties, it is not sufficient. There must be concept by which we can distinguish any substance as acid or base. And by considering this, different theories were put forward by different scientists. The first theory was put forward by the scientist Arrhenius. So today we shall consider Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. This theory is also called as ionization theory. It is based upon the concept of ionization. Now what is acid according to Arrhenius theory? According to this theory, for a substance to be an acid, three conditions are compulsory. The first condition is the substance must be hydrogen compound. What is hydrogen compound? That is the compound containing hydrogen as one of the element. The second is we have to take the aqueous solution of that substance. What is aqueous solution? The substance is dissolved in water. That is called as aqueous solution. And the third condition is H plus ions must be obtained. If these three conditions are followed by that substance, then it is called as an acid. So according to Arrhenius theory, acid is a hydrogen compound which in aqueous solution gives H plus ions. So if we have to consider HCl is an acid, according to this theory, aqueous solution of HCl gives H plus ions and Cl minus ions. If acetic acid is considered, aqueous solution of acetic acid gives H plus ions and CS3COO minus ions. See here, all these conditions are followed by these two substances. First one is HCl is hydrogen compound. It contains hydrogen. CS3COOH is also hydrogen compound. We have taken aqueous solution of these two substances, and in both these H plus ions are obtained. We can explain it by taking another examples also. Now remember that if one of these three conditions are not followed by that substance, it cannot be called as an acid. These three conditions are compulsory. That is, it must be hydrogen compound, we have to take aqueous solution, and H plus ions must be obtained. Now what is base according to this theory? For a substance to be a base, the first condition according to Arrhenius theory, it must be hydroxide compound. What is hydroxide compound? That is the compound containing OH group. The second condition is same, that is we have to take aqueous solution of that compound. And the third condition is OH minus ions must be obtained. If these three conditions are followed by that substance, then it is called as a base. Hydroxide compound, aqueous solution, and OH minus ions. For example, you know sodium hydroxide NaOH is a base. Aqueous solution of NaOH according to this theory will ionize to give Na plus ions and OH minus ions. NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, is a base which in aqueous solution gives NH4 plus ions and OH minus ions. Now see, in these two compounds hydroxide group is present. These are hydroxide compounds. We have taken aqueous solution of these compounds and OH minus ions are obtained. Again here, if one of these three conditions is not followed by these substances, it cannot be called as a base. Understand what is acid and what is base according to this theory. So there are some limitations of this theory also. Now we have seen that for acid the substance must be hydrogen compound. We must have to take aqueous solution. That means if it is not hydrogen compound and if we have not taken aqueous solution but it gives H plus ions, it cannot be acid according to this theory. These definitions are based upon the aqueous solution of the substance, not in terms of the substances. For example, you cannot call HCl is an acid according to this theory. HCl gas cannot be called as acid according to this theory. Only aqueous solution of HCl is called as an acid, because the second condition is important. We have to take aqueous solution of that substance. So this is the drawback of this theory. Some substances, suppose they are not hydrogen compound, for example FeCl3. If you take aqueous solution of FeCl3, it gives H plus ions. It shows all the acidic properties. Means the second condition, aqueous solution is followed, H plus ions are obtained, but this is not hydrogen compound, so it cannot be acid according to Arrhenius theory. Again, in aqueous solution of acid, H plus ions are obtained, but if you study the aqueous solution of any acid, H plus ions are not in free state. They combine with H2O molecules to give H3O plus ions, which are called as hydronium ions. That is, H plus ions are not obtained, H3O plus ions are obtained. Now some compounds, you know, like ammonia, NH3, aniline, these compounds, they show all the basic properties. If you take aqueous solution of ammonia, it gives OH minus ions. That means it shows basic properties. We have taken aqueous solution, OH minus ions are obtained, but it is not hydroxide compound, and so ammonia cannot be base according to this theory. So these are the limitations of Arrhenius theory, and to overcome these limitations, the next theory was put forward by the scientists Bronsted and Lowry. This theory we shall consider in the next video.